Hey, Ken.
Morning. Sorry. Evening,
Whatever it is exactly. All right, we have a new person. Is that a new staff person? Is that a new staff person? We got a new pen. Oh, love it. Thank you.
I had to bring a pen
Dan,
from home.
Kathy?
You need a pen?
Whatever.
No, I brought one from home.
Me too.
All my pens were taken off from my desk.
As I live and breathe. As I live and breathe. Are we?
John, if there's anything.
It's not.
Oh.
Are we giving something away tonight?
Oh, that's scary.
Can
Do we
start
need
without
them?
him? Do we need them?
And I need to know.
Especially if it's Chief's going first, I'm sure.
Oh, no, he's going last.
No, Carrie's going last.
You guys ready?
Yeah, who are we
Yes.
going with?
Let's go Chief first.
Danny, you, and Kathy.
Okay.
Trustee Fenton?
Here.
Trustee Guerra?
Here.
Trustee Calandrello?
Here,
Public safety, approval of minutes?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee
move to
Fenton.
approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Public Safety Committee of August 21st, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Village code amendment?
This is a request to amend Title VII, Chapter 15 of the Village Code as it relates to tobacco. And this is to regulate e-cigarettes, which we don't have in our village code. E-cigarettes are pretty popular right now, but the FDA also says they have nicotine just like other cigarettes. So this is an ordinance prohibiting e-cigarettes for those under 18 years of age, just like other tobacco products.
Any questions from the board? From the audience? With that, looking for a motion.
Mr. Chairman.
Trustee Guerra.
I move to recommend to the village board to pass an ordinance entitled Title VII, Chapter 15, Tobacco or Alternative Nicotine Products.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Village code amendment for the imposition of fines, penalties, changes in Illinois compiled statutes and addresses, and the creation of a fine schedule.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, last time we amended our ordinance in regards to fines was in 2010. Since that time, the cost of doing business for all of us has gone up. Cost of issuing the ticket, whether it's a police officer, CSO, or salary has gone up over 7 years. Cost of printing the ticket, the cost of processing them, the cost of a hearing officer for those that are contested. So our proposal is to raise it from 60 to 75 for almost all violations of parking and traffic. We reviewed traffic fines from around the entire area, and there's no consistency. There's nothing to say that many of them have a different fine for every different violation. Oakland, I believe, is 100. Orland Hills, I believe, is 100. We're going to be at 75. There are some as low as $10 in other communities, but some of those seem to be like parking on one side of the street for a resident only would be $10. So we try to find some consistency, and there really doesn't seem to be any. So we're proposing $75. In addition to that, handicap would be $350. It's $250. The state statute is $350. We raise it to that. Criminal offenses would be $250. Those are things for first-time offenders that we arrest for possession of drugs, theft, retail theft, battery, assault, and so forth. But have no prior records, naturally it was a battery, no serious injuries, maybe a big push, something like that. That would be $250. They do not get a criminal record as a result. They get a local record through Orland Park Police, but it's not an arrest, there's no fingerprinting. So it's a real break for people like that. We want to continue that. On the same token, it is a big break. They don't have to go to court in Bridgeview, they don't have to hire an attorney, they don't have to postpone, they don't get fingerprinted, and our cost of doing business and the risk that we have, whether we charge them long form, as we say, to send to Bridgeview, or an ordinance violation, we still have a significant amount of risk. So we believe $250 is an appropriate amount. In addition, building code tickets would all be consistent, starting at $250. So we made, overall, the biggest change is from $60 to $75, which is everything other than the criminal and the building code violations. So overall, the
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
I just think
Audience?
it, oops, sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Sorry, I just wanted to say, I think it's long overdue, especially the handicap violation. I saw several other communities had already gone up to the 350, and we were behind in that a little bit. And it's a lot of hard work out there.
And if I can just add, like, as you said, the cost of salaries alone in 7 years have gone up. So the time it takes to do all the processing, the man hours and all of that, it just makes sense that we try and cover our expenses.
The hearings are expensive too. We have 6 people there, 6 employees. We have a hearing officer, cashier, 2 clerks, police officer giving advice to the hearing officer, and a police officer for security. So it's a big operation.
Any questions from the audience? Looking for a motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Trustee Fenton?
move to recommend to the village board to pass an ordinance entitled Title I and Titles 4 through 9 of the Orland Park Village Code in regard to imposition of fines, penalties, changes in the Illinois complied statutes, and addresses the citation of a fine schedule.
May I interrupt just for a moment? We worked with all of the other departments to clean up many years of changes in the village code, addresses, compiled statute sites, and so forth. So a lot of it was housekeeping as well, an awful lot of it was housekeeping. You know, the address, I think, of the village hall in many places was 147 or 141 B. It's
A little outdated.
144, whatever it is. So there's a lot of cleaning of that in there as well. So all the departments pitched in, so it was a team effort to make all the changes.
We don't have to make it. Looking for a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Chief.
Parks and Rec approval minutes.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Condrell.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of Parks and Recreation Committee of August the 21st, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2017 Turkey Trot race shirt purchase approval for all 1,900
Madam
participants.
Chair, Turkey
Nancy.
Trot. Yes. I got a little rounder and a little over.
No scarf.
Madam Chair, Turkey Trot is one of our more popular events. It's been going on for decades. Last year we had well over 800 participants. Staff went out for pricing for t-shirts, which are included in the registration fee. 4 quotes were received. The lowest quote from Top Notch Silk Screening of Chicago came in at $6,179. The item has been budgeted for a recreation account, and currently we are seeking permission to make a purchase for the shirts.
Very nice, very nice, Nancy. Any questions from the audience? Nancy is out of town on business as of. Any questions from the committee?
Madam Chair,
Trustee Fenn.
move to recommend to the village board to approve the purchase of the 2017 Turkey Trot race shirts for the 900 participants from Top Notch Silk Screening of Chicago and Illinois in the amount of $6,179.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Community garden removal.
Madam
Oh,
Chair, per our
yes.
discussions, I'm bringing this forward to committee for your discussion and consideration. Several years ago, Parks and Grounds installed a community garden program at the very front of Discovery Park. There are 21 plots. They have been reduced in size over the years. While it started out as a well-received program, over the last several years it has dwindled in participation. Last year we had a total of 16 of the 21 plots rented, of which 4 were by non-residents. Currently this year we have 11 rented, 4 of which are by non-residents. We have 7 residents participating in it. The amount of time, labor, and material to keep that going, even the plots that aren't rented, we get phone calls on a regular basis to come and weed the areas out that get extremely tall. We're asking for consideration to possibly stop this program for now, and if another site, presents itself, maybe a little bit better of a location. We do get calls that you're from Brook Hill, so you're well aware that the gardens are right to the very front of the park, and sometimes some of the residents' homes, you have to look at that unsightliness of the plots that aren't rented. So we're asking if we can convert it back to turf.
Many of our residents over there, I've heard from them a lot this summer. These plants, if they do plant a garden, they forget about them as time goes on. And you've got things 6 feet tall and they're just weeds. And they look terrible. They're on the main street that goes through the subdivision, and people who, have a pretty park, they bought a home near a park and open space across from it, get this god-awful, ugly-looking thing that is not maintained at all, not by the village, it's the renters.
It's challenging for us on our part because we do not allow chemicals in there, so I
Right.
can't just send somebody in with a selective herbicide to spray those areas. They have to be manually pulled.
Well, and you wouldn't want to, and I think as we mentioned earlier with the police changes and the expenses, the staff hours going in there to prepare the sites for rental and trying to have the lawn cut all around it, what lawn there is, probably far exceeds any revenue we could dream of. So it's time, I think it has lived out its lifespan. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you.
Committee? Bless you.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Calendro.
I move to recommend to the village board to allow the removal of the community garden program and return the site to original form turf.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Centennial Park Aquatic Center variable frequency drives.
Madam Chair, this is for the purchase of 3 variable frequency drives for some of the pumps and machinery at the pool. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what variable frequency drives do.
You want to explain, because it's on another item
Quick
tonight.
example, the pumps and turbines that we have that move the water for the pool, whether it be filtration or for features, they spin at about 1,900 revolutions per minute. If our staff is not there and something needs to be stopped right away, say a lifeguard manager after our full-time staff are gone, need to stop it, they press stop, and 1,900 RPMs instantly stops, which is not good for the machinery. It's very bad for the machinery. Variable frequency drives will slow them down.
Poor guy. Dropped his pen, he's got to click.
I was really hoping for a visual.
Stop, so it will in essence prolong the life of the equipment. We have also filled out paperwork with ComEd to see if we can get some rebates for the purchase of them. The smaller unit at 25 horsepower, and the lower quote from Thomas Pump was $3,880, and the 40 horsepower VFD came in at $4,760. The total is $8,648, and we do have funds available in the pool account.
And I notice on a Public Works issue, item tonight on board, it's variable frequency pumps, whatever they're called, that we are approving there to replace some that have been worn out.
Prolongs the life of a lot of different types of machinery.
Makes sense.
These probably should have had them installed when they were put in 25 years ago, but
We're catching up.
it happens.
Any questions from the audience from the committee? Trustee Fenton?
Move to recommend to the village board to approve the quote from Thomas Pump Company, Inc. of Aurora, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $8,648 for the purchase, startup programming, and employee training of variable frequency drives.
God bless you. A second.
Oh, second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I thought
Sen-
for sure she was sneezing.
Oh,
Centennial Park Aquatic Center zero depth pool filtration pump repair.
Madam Chair, as you're well aware, we had a filtration pump go down at the beginning of August. This is something that's very detrimental to us, as if our filtration rates aren't high enough, we have to shut the pool down. We were able, in working with our vendor, to build a temporary pump and have it installed at site. The pump has been pulled, it is at the company Thomas Pump to be repaired. Cost for repair is $9,572. Pump was pulled in the second week of August, we had to have it out, and it takes forever to fix them. It's more cost effective at this point in time to fix this pump than it is to replace it. It more than doubles the cost to replace it. And in replacing them, as you know through budget conversations, we're looking to, as we do have to replace pumps, move forward in a different direction with a flooded suction pump, which is a lot more efficient of a pump, but cost right now would be effective to around $40,000.
Yeah, we're repairing. Any questions from the audience, from the committee? Chair will entertain a motion.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Calendro.
I move to recommend to the village board to approve the quote from Thomas Pump in the amount not to exceed $9,572 for the repair work of the Centennial Park Aquatic Center zero depth pool filtration pump.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Development Services approval minutes.
Motion.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Calendro.
I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of the Development Services Planning Engineering Committee of August the 21st, 2017.
Second.
All in favor?
EcoSite Wireless Communication Facility.
Madam Chair, I'm actually going to turn this one over to Anna. Anna is one of our newer part-time planners with the village. This is her first case
Hi, Anna.
that she has taken through the entire public hearing process. So be nice to her. I'm going to let her present this one.
Thanks, Carrie. So the petitioner, NTP Wireless, is proposing to construct a 95-foot tall monopole tower, a total of 100 feet with a 5-foot lightning rod on the Public Works site at 15655 Ravinia Avenue in a 2,500 square foot leasing area. The petitioner is requesting one modification, that in lieu of the landscaping requirements, to pay the $2,500 fee to the village's tree mitigation bank. And this was done after the Public Works Department requested that they not provide landscaping given the small area of the site. The project meets all of the conditions of the village's 2010 policy concerning wireless communication facilities on village-owned property, including the screening requirements the petitioner has proposed, an 8-foot-tall, 100% opaque fence around the site, and there is possibility to co-locate 2 different carriers, both at 75 feet and also at 90 feet on the tower. And the petitioner and the village have entered into a lease agreement where they will be paying a quarterly rent to the village for compensation. Please let me know if you have any questions.
Where is the money going from that lease agreement?
It goes into the general fund, like all the other leases for our cell towers do. The lease will come back before you guys for approval, since it is village-owned property. And that will happen at a later date after we get through the public hearing process for the project itself.
Okay. Are there any questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Any committee members? Trustee Guerra?
I just one on the rendering, or the site plan that they show us. They call it 94th Ave. Is that a mistake on their part, or is there something connection to 94th Avenue? I mean, they have the correct address, but it says 94th Ave / Illinois 0130 Orland Park Public Works Building, and then further down it says 15655.
Yeah, this
Ravinia.
is a typo. It's the wrong address. It's 15655 Ravinia.
Yeah, I mean, that's on there, but in a larger font, it says 94th Avenue, so I wondered, okay.
Any other questions? Oh, sure, come on up. If you could just state your name for the clerk.
Yes. My name's Raymond Beard on behalf of NTP Wireless EcoSite. The 94th Avenue, it's just tied to, they give site names to these rings whenever we try and find basically a coverage ring. So it's often just assigned to a nearby street. It's not necessarily the final address of the project, so just for clarity.
So it's like when you started out maybe with the plan? That's like 2 blocks east, that's why I said it.
Exactly. So they
So
may
it's
have
within
said
the ring of
somewhere
where it's
around
going.
Here
Oh, I
is
see,
where
okay.
we'll start looking, and then we'll, narrow down from there what works best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments? Motion would be in order.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Guerra?
wait, I'm starting out with the Plan Commission. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we skip that?
I move to accept the findings of fact.
Not recommend,
I
you
You
got
want
it?
mine? It's right here.
Sure, I'll do it. Madam Chair,
Oh, here, I got it.
Trustee Calendrella?
I move to accept the findings of the Plan Commission, the findings of facts set forth in the staff report dated September the 12th, 2017. And I move to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees to approve the primary set planning titled Overall Site Plan, Sheet C/1, Site Plan, Sheet C2, Fence, Gate, and Compound Detail, Sheet C6, Grading and Erosion Control Plan, Sheet C7, you owe me one pad, Site Signage Details, Sheet C9, and Antenna Plan, 80-foot level, Sheet C12, prepared by WT Communication Designs Group, LLC, dated May 31st, 2017. And, Pat, I move to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees approve the elevations titled Equipment Elevation Sheets C4 and C5 and antennas and tower elevation sheet C11 prepared by WT Communications Design Group LLC dated May 31st, 2017, subject to the same above conditions. And I move to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees to approve a special use permit for a wireless communication facility at the Village of Orland Park Public Work Program in the COR District. Modifications to the special use permit include 1, waiving installation of landscaping screening in favor of paying the fee of $225. No, it's $2,500 in lieu of it.
Second.
No, he's not done.
No,
You're
no.
not done. There's more, oh, mine
reference.
ends there.
It's not necessary to be read.
Okay, this part you don't have
There's
to.
and. I got it. I can do
You're
this.
done.
You're done.
No, you're done. It
Oh.
says this section doesn't have to be.
All right.
Is there a second?
I said second.
All in favor?
I wonder-
Aye.
104th multi-use path,
Sorry, Pat.
104th Avenue multi-use path.
Madam Chair,
Thank you.
we are requesting approval tonight of the Phase 2 engineering for the pedestrian path along 108th Avenue. Lochner is under contract to do the Phase 1 of the project. As you know, Lochner also did the design for the 159th Street widening project, as well as did all of our design of our new utilities that are going in as part of that project as well. So we are hoping to have this where, once we get through the Phase 2 engineering, that once 159th Street is close to being finished, which is in 2019, that we'll be able to come either right behind that and put the path in, or maybe even piggyback off of IDOT's contract and have their contractor do it. But we have to get the Phase 2 engineering done first. This is money we got from the Southwest Conference of Mayors, so we only pay 20% of it. The 80% will be basically through Southwest Conference of Mayors.
Any questions from anyone in the audience? Any of the committee members?
Madam Chair.
Trustee Gura?
My understanding is the property we're going to use there is the Archdiocese property from the cemetery, correct?
Well, we are going to be going within the right-of-way. The pedestrian, the pathway will be along the right-of-way, and then it'll be crossing over to 159th Street and heading westward
Westward to where?
to connect into the
Centennial
Centennial
Park.
Park.
Like right at the east side of
Yeah,
the tracks?
Yeah,
Yeah, but most of it, 90% of it will be on the east side of 104th?
right.
Because didn't the Archdiocese give us the right-of-way? Or grant us?
We have the right-of-way, yeah, we have the right-of-way. We don't need to do the right-of-way.
I thought they were even going to give us land to encourage that it be done. So isn't that what Phase 2 is, land acquisition?
Phase 2 is the final design plans, actually getting it to the point where we can submit it for review and approval.
Okay. Look forward to it. It really will connect the two halves of the
It's
village.
a very, very important connection for the south side of town, because there is.
We know that, don't we?
We do, because we don't live far from here.
That's right.
And so, we have it already running along 104th Avenue, but there's that gap there, and we always knew the gap was going to happen. Remember, we're going to have a signal at 104th Avenue, too.
That's
that we
key.
don't have today, so we'll have the safety of the pedestrian crosswalks there, too. So, but this is a very important gap to be filled.
Yeah, anybody that's ever tried to cross 159th or ride along with their bike knows just how important that is.
Anyone else? Comments? Motion would be in order.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Gura?
I move to recommend to the Village Board approval of a proposal from H.W. Lochner of Chicago, Illinois, for the 104th Avenue multi-use path, 163rd Street to 159th, Phase 2 engineering design services in the amount not to exceed $163,841.02.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
2017 traffic data collection.
Madam Chair, this is something we do every single year since we adopted the transportation plan. And Gawad Hamilton is the engineer the engineering company who we use to do this, and you have the listing of the intersections. We're going to do the traffic counts. We do this every year so we can stay updated on our traffic volumes around town at different major intersections.
Any comments from anyone in the audience? Any comments from the committee?
Madam Chair?
Trustee Calendro?
Just a quick question. So when we get that data, we use that to hopefully, if we need to do a road project, we have the numbers ready to go. That's kind of, so we pick the corners maybe we need to do something out of that corner. Is that kind of what we do? That's what I thought. We have good staff, anyway. I'm ready for motion unless someone's got a comment.
Nope.
All right. I move to recommend entering into a contract with Walt Hamilton Associate Inc. of Vernon Hills, Illinois, in the amount not to exceed $9,900 for the traffic data collection services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
TOA payment?
Madam Chair, this is an invoice that we've received from TOA. As you know, TOA is the architect of record for the downtown Triangle area. They have worked with us over the course of many years on helping us design buildings and architecture for the next phases of the project. This is this invoice is for Phase 3, which is known as the theater building, and so we need to pay them for those things.
Shucks.
Any questions or comments from anyone in the audience? Any committee members? Motion would be in order.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Giro.
I move to recommend approval of to the Village Board of Trustees of the invoice in the amount of $31,295 for architectural services completed by TOA for the downtown project.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
V3 Consulting Services?
Well, Madam Chair, unfortunately, today Kurt Corrigan started his first day as with V3. But
So therefore, we shouldn't pay them.
So he's gone, but he's going to be back for my staff meeting tomorrow. So basically what this is to get us through the end of the year until we get his position replaced, where we will hire him back as a consultant through V3 to provide continuity for the projects he's currently working on, wrapping up LaGrange Road, which is almost done. Coordination still, some of the 159th Street projects that we're working on, as well as the roundabout that's going to start construction this spring out in front of Village Hall. And then he'll also be attending my weekly staff meeting still every Tuesday as well. So this will get us through this year, and then we'll reevaluate where we're at.
Any comments or questions for anyone in the audience? Anyone from the committee? Motion would be in order.
Madam Chair,
Trustee Calendar.
I move to recommend to the Village Board of Trustees to approve a professional services contract with V3 Consulting in the amount of $19,040 as outlined.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry.
It's all right.
It's your committee.
Slap your name later.
I think it's made already. I think it's made it.
Oh, I was going to say, you know what else that makes it for us? I need to get my friend.